Hi everybody. Has anyone been scheduled to get a surgical procedure done, and before you decide to go through the procedure, you conduct your research on which medical team can ensure patient safety and successful results? Did you know that certain surgeries require an intraoperative neurophysiologic monitoring technologist to monitor your procedure? And do you trust they'll do the right thing and communicate the possibility of an issue that may arise during your surgery? Working in the healthcare field for 8+ years, I've gained an extensive amount of knowledge on how the human body operates and how to incorporate that knowledge as an intraoperative neurophysiologic monitoring technologist. Utilizing small groups communication as an intraoperative neurophysiologic monitoring technologist is critical in the healthcare field to prevent negligent errors during the procedure. Today, I'll be informing you all on what intraoperative neurophysiologic technologist is and how small group communication is needed and what consequences can arise when small group communication isn't utilized. Let's begin with what is intraoperative monitoring technologist, what it is, and what small group communication entails. An intraoperative neurophysiologic monitoring technologist, or IOM tech, is a technologist that monitors central and nervous system of patients who are undergoing a surgical procedure. Small group communication is when you have at least 3 people who communicate and collaborate with one another to achieve a common goal, reciprocal influences, and shared identity. There are many surgical procedures that require IOM techs to be present at the time of the surgery, but the most common procedures are spinal, neuro, and interventional radiologic procedures. Hartman, 2022. IONM uses electrophysiological monitoring to detect and present intraoperative neurologic injuries before they progress to permanent deficits. Hartman, 2022. Now that we understand what an IOM tech is and small group communication, let's discuss why it is vital during, before, and after the procedure. Small group communication is essential before, during, after procedure because it minimizes room for negligence mistakes working in the healthcare field. It is imperative that patient care and safety is delivered. Each member of the IOM team has a separate role. All team members should understand each other's role. Chirari et al. 2018. Communication before the procedure follows precautions for infection control per facility policy and procedures. IONM National, these are like sites. So IOM National Competency Skills Standard 2011. IOM Tech understands critical periods during the surgery when an introgenic injury is likely to occur and other points in the surgery that could possibly cause data changes. IOM National Competency Skills Standard 2011. Since I informed you all on why small group communication is needed before, during, after the procedure, let's look at what consequences can arise when small group communication isn't utilized during the procedure. When small group communication isn't utilized in the operating room, there could be a significant amount of consequences that can not only affect the surgical team, but can affect the patient as well. The responsible neuromonitorist, which is the IOM tech, reports alerts to the surgeon and the anesthesiologist, who decide whether to alter the course of the procedure plan if something off is on the monitor. Skinner and Sala, 2017. While there are few reported medical malpractice implicating IOM exists, most successful cases involve a breakdown in communication within the IOM team. Goldberg Haas, 2016. I will now provide some examples of class action lawsuit when group communication isn't utilized during the surgical cases. There was one case in California that stated that a patient loss in waveform indicated an injury to her spine, but they continued the procedure anyway, without action being taken about it, so the patient ended up with an injury, like a permanent lifelong injury. Another lawsuit, a plaintiff was able to show the injury that 2 neurodiagnostics performed IOM without the supervision of a physician. So they this patient actually ended up with a 8-figure lawsuit
Wow.
because
8
they
figures.
because they performed the surgery. Well, the person that was supposed to watch the monitor wasn't in the room who reads it. So you have the tech who can relate the waveform to the person that's reading. So the patient and the surgeon were both under the impression that that reader was in the room, and he wasn't. So that's
how they pick up on that, I wonder.
because the patient ended up with an injury. So now that the patient ended up with the injury after the surgery, now they report it to the hospital, or how they have those commercials where it's like, if you have an injury, call 1-800. So that's probably what they did. And of course they reached out to the hospital and they go from there. So that patient won the settlement. It's crazy.
My eyes open
8 figures.
Yeah, 8-figure settlement.
Crazy.
Yes. Both cases illustrate how to create liability through the lack of communication between IOM providers. Goldberg Haas 2010. I've informed you each of you on what IOM technologists, what they are, what their job entails, and how group communication is vital for this career, and what happens when communication isn't applied. Utilizing group communication as an IOM tech is critical in the field to prevent negligent errors during the procedure. I've informed you all on what IOM is and small group communication. Why small group communication is needed before, during, after procedure, and what consequences can arise when small group communication isn't utilized during the procedure. When it comes to surgical procedures, I asked you if you conduct the research before choosing a medical team that can ensure patient safety and successful results. I hope the information I provided you all with today will help you decide wisely on choosing an IOM surgical team with effective group communication and that can ensure safety results during your surgical procedure.
Yes.
Yes.
You sure did.